Hey everyone, so this will be my review of the Marineland Penguin 150 hang-on bag filter here, power filter here, which is of course this guy right here. So this is the Penguin 150. This one does 150 gallons per hour, so it is a decent filter. Marineland recommends this for tanks up to 30 gallons. I have it on my 20-gallon long here. And on this tank, it is doing a very good job. You guys can probably see through my lid here. It has a decent current on here. Now, I do have the Marineland on here as well. On the other side, you cannot see it because it is an internal filter. I have my Tetra internal filter, which is actually a bit noisier than the Marineland at times. I'll get to that in a moment here, what I mean by that. But first, I want to show off what the filter looks like here. So you get these two covers. You get the front facing cover and then the top cover here. You see they are nice and condensation, but there's a bunch of condensation on there. So these are both removable. They're just plastic. Move my light a bit there, and I just dropped that on the ground. All right, so hopefully I did not just break that. So of course with Marineland you get the wheel there, the bio wheel. That is like Marineland's thing. That is what everybody knows. When you think of Marineland filters, that's usually what you think of is this guy here. So important tips on the bio wheel there. As long as it is spinning, even if it is spinning very, very slow, this is still new, so of course it's still spinning very quick. Even if it's spinning slow, as long as it has not stopped 100% of the way, do not replace it. Even if it is dirty looking, kind of nasty looking, do not replace it. The only time you want to replace that bio wheel is if it is completely stopped spinning, or it has like been destroyed. I mean, like torn up, destroyed, which probably is not going to happen anyway. I mean, unless you like dropped it or drop kicked it or something. It's probably not going to get to a point where you need to replace it. So pretty much never replace that. 99.9% of the time you do not replace that bio wheel. The reason for that being is, of course, as the name implies, bio, it is your biological bacteria. That is where your biological filtering happens in these filters, at least for the most part. So yeah, do not ever replace that guy. Then you also get the cartridge here, which is like any other cartridge pretty much. You have your filter floss. You can see actually how dirty that is already. That's why I've been in here for like a week. So it's doing a really good job. I'm actually really surprised at that. Yeah, so you have your filter floss on the front, which gets rid of like the, well, as you can see there, the uneaten food, the poop, stuff like that. And then you have inside here is your carbon or your charcoal, which gets rid of your chemical. That's your chemical filtration there. The front floss is your mechanical filtration. Down there will be your impeller and your pump and stuff. Then you of course have your intake tube here. Yeah, and that's pretty much the gist of what filters are. Then I'll show you guys inside the tank. Sorry, I know it's gonna be hard to see, but down here is of course your intake. This does come with, I want to say it's 2 more tubes. So if you have a tall tank, you can attach those other tubes, and then it will, of course, be in the tank, deeper in the tank. By my 20-gallon long, which is not that tall, I could not add in those other extension tubes because it would be digging into the bottom of the tank, which is a no-no. A nice thing about the Marinelands here is on the cover, as long as you do not lose said cover. On the top here, it tells you which filter you have. So this is Penguin Bio Wheel 150. And then underneath, it tells you what filter cartridge you need. So for the 150, it is the right size B filter cartridge here. And they recommend replacing it every 2 to 4 weeks. So pretty much about once a month you want to replace the cartridge. Again, that's not the bio wheel, not the wheel, but the cartridge. Stick this thing back up top here. There we go. And then we'll do this. Hopefully not hit the wheel with my light. Okay, that's gonna stop for a moment. You don't really want that to stop, but I just want to show you guys the current. That is the current. Again, it is about 150 gallons per hour. That is not adjustable on these filters. Sadly, I believe when you step up to the big Emperor Marineland filters, power filters, that has a little bit of a spray bar that you can adjust. But on the Penguins, you are not able to adjust the flow rate. So you get that 150 gallons per hour, or you get that 150 gallons per hour. You can see down here, though, the current is pretty strong. I have a beta in here, who is, you can't really see her, but she's down there, swimming around. Yep, there she is. Along with some platies and swordtails and a couple of snails. And even with the Marineland 150, as well as my other little internal filter, they have no issues swimming around. They actually seem to enjoy the current quite a bit. Now I want to talk about noise levels here. So if you have your water up all the way, or almost all the way, like I have mine, it is past the brace here. It is actually pretty dang quiet. You can hear the wheel spinning a little bit, but it is actually pretty quiet. My internal filter that's on the other side is actually noisier, which is weird because internal filters are supposed to be silent. But it is actually pretty dang quiet. But now if you let the water level drop too much, mine, it was down to about the bottom of the top bar here. Then it was actually pretty noisy. It's not a bad noise. It's like that waterfall, water hitting water noise. It's actually kind of a relaxing noise, but it's also that noise that makes you have to use the bathroom, especially when you're trying to sleep. Mine's like 10 feet away from my bed in my bedroom. So if you let your water level drop too much in your tank, it's gonna be making some. Again, it's a pleasant noise, but it's gonna be making noise, and it is decently loud. I mean, it's not like going to keep you awake loud. It's just loud enough to make you maybe have to use a bathroom like it does me in the middle of the night, which is not too pleasant of a thing when you're trying to sleep. But during the daytime, though, it's one of those nice, relaxing noises. But it is something to mention that it does make some noise. But again, it's not that annoying like where the impeller's making noise, or the motor's making weird noises. It's just that nice, pleasant water sound. Yeah, so this is an excellent filter. They're not too expensive. They're actually rather on the cheap side, especially compared to like Fluval or Aquaclear. They're actually a bit cheaper than those. Now, you guys, let me know if you prefer Marineland over other brands, or what brand you guys prefer. Personally, I do like the Marinelands. They are nice filters, especially since they're not that expensive. They do a decent job. But I do prefer Fluval or Aquaclear over these filters. But at times, those can be actually noisier than the Marineland. Yeah, you guys let me know, what is your favorite filter brand? Do you guys like the Marinelands? Do you guys like Fluval, Aqueon, Marina? That's one you don't hear too often, at least not around me. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you all very much for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. Again, I do recommend this filter. It is a decent filter for a hang-on back. But I might be converting all mine to internal filters, particularly the Fluval U line, like I have in my 45-gallon tank. They're just dead silent. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, appreciate it. See you guys next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.